This is Akashvani. In the program Spotlight, now we bring you a discussion on Prime Minister's visit to Gujarat and inauguration of various development projects. The participants are Vinay Kumar, political analyst, and Lalima Aneja Dang, anchor.
Prime Minister Modi visited Gujarat today and launched development projects worth 5,800 crore rupees in Mehsana. He first went to Banaskantha, where he paid obeisance to the goddess at the Amba temple. And these projects involved multiple sectors like rail, road, drinking water and irrigation and much more. How will that affect the people of Gujarat? For this and much more, we have with us senior journalist Vinay Kumar. Welcome Vinayji to Akashvani Studios.
Thank you.
Vinay, the Prime Minister has made many trips to Gujarat after becoming the Prime Minister. He was the Chief Minister thrice over, that is for about 15 years in Gujarat. How do you see this visit as different from the previous ones?
Lalima, Gujarat is the home state of Prime Minister Mr. Narendra Modi. Prime Minister has a vast and very in-depth knowledge of the state, and he knows where these projects are needed, where infrastructure needs to be pushed a little more, and where civic amenities are lacking. So Prime Minister used his knowledge, and yesterday also in Man Ki Baat he referred to this famous temple of Amba Devi in Ambaji village, which is believed to be the original seat of the goddess, and he referred to his address in Man Ki Baat yesterday, and he said that the small hillock to the west of this Ambaji village will also be developed. And today when he was addressing the public meeting in Mehsana while inaugurating, dedicating to the nation these projects, as you mentioned, worth nearly 6,000 crores. So he spoke in Gujarati. So
yes,
his stress was more on, not only infrastructure development, but improving connectivity within the state, which will also not only help these districts, but districts around Mehsana and Mehsana, Sabar, Kantha, Gandhinagar, Patan, Aravali, basically north and central Gujarat. It will also help in further pushing the economic development of Gujarat, which is already, industrially a very well-developed state in our country. And Gujarat not only leads in petrochemicals and ports and road network, but also rail project, which Prime Minister today inaugurated, the Western Dedicated Freight Corridor. Gujarat is also gradually becoming hub of automobile manufacturing facilities because the country's biggest automobile manufacturer, Maruti Suzuki India Limited, is setting up a plant in Sananda. So all in all, if you see these schemes, which include sectors like drinking water, which is in Palanpur, barrage on Sabarmati River in Mehsana, Dharoi Dam based in Palanpur, sewerage treatment plant and management plant in Gandhinagar, also in Patan, Banaskantha and Mehsana. So all in all, these projects will not only push the economic development and infrastructure growth in the state, but will also help in furthering the government's aim and purpose of boosting and improving the ease of living for the people in Gujarat. So I think all sectors will join hands to ensure a wholesome and holistic development of the state in the time to come.
Absolutely. I think no sector has been left behind. When he spoke about developing the hillock next to Ambaji temple, once tourism gets a boost, definitely the trade and economic activity gets a boost of that area. That comes naturally.
Yeah, naturally. And Lalima, if you see, Gujarat already has a very good network of roads. I think it should be something around 74,000 kilometers of road network in Gujarat. Gujarat is also plagued with unfavorable climatic conditions, soil, and at places non-availability of drinking water. So all these, if you see in the past decade or the past 2 decades, all these problems have been gradually overcome by the successive governments, of which, as you mentioned, 3 terms Mr. Modi has headed the government in Gujarat. So all this development has also taken place during that time. And if you see, no part of Gujarat has the longest coastline in the whole of India as a state, about 1600 kilometers, 1596 kilometers to be precise. And no part of Gujarat is more than 160 kilometers or 100 miles away from the sea. You can reach the sea in about 2 hours time from anywhere. And you have, industries in Gujarat which include not only gems and diamonds and petrochemicals and textiles, but also, dairy products. And today, Prime Minister spoke about, the potatoes of North Gujarat, which are famous all over the world for their excellent quality and their exports. Potato processing plants are established in Banaskantha. And Prime Minister Modi said in his address at the public meeting that, he salutes the farmers because they produced gold from the sandy soil. So I think these are the kind of little details which have gone into making Gujarat ahead of many other states in our country where ease of doing business or pushing up the economic growth is concerned. So naturally, all this coupled with, as you mentioned, tourism potential of Gujarat, Ambaji temple is one of the Shakti peeths. So I think that is also a very significant step. And as all sectors have been touched by today's development projects, so not only these districts, but I think like Western Freight Dedicated Corridor, which is new Bhandu and new Sanand section. And when it becomes fully operational, not only this freight corridor will help in transportation of goods and products to these districts through which this freight corridor will pass, but also to the neighboring states where these goods from Gujarat, finished products from Gujarat and dairy products from Gujarat can be taken not only to the neighboring states, but also as far as Delhi and Haryana are concerned.
I was coming to that because the Prime Minister is known to be a man of vision. If you have industry, as you rightly pointed out, dairy industry, we know of Amul, auto industry, Maruti, as you mentioned, and there's gem and diamond industry in Surat. There is textile industry in Surat as well. So when we talk of Gujarat as a whole, we know that a lot of manufacturing activity takes place. And it's of no use if you don't have proper connectivity. And for that, definitely this Western dedicated freight corridor would be of great advantage because if goods are being manufactured, they have to be transported. And that should be an advantage, which is what the Prime Minister has been working at for a long time. When we talk of the Western dedicated freight corridor, dedicated is the key word. Does it mean that we're going to be laying fresh rail lines? And it's going to be exclusively for the freight?
Yeah, it's a corridor which is already work in progress. And this dedicated freight corridor has been, work on this has been going on in parts, and in some places, the work is quite advanced. And when it links the entire western sector of the country, from north, problem is, Lalima, that even if you have, fast trains like Vande Bharat being manufactured in India, they are not designed to run on the same railway tracks on which we run goods train, which carry, heavy loads. So naturally that, the track over the years, it withers away, the strength is not the same.
Right.
And you need constant repair and maintenance.
Right.
But if you have a freight corridor which is dedicated only for the freight trains, not only the freight trains, not only the goods trains can run at a higher speed, but it will also, they consume less time in transporting goods. So that's, I think, a very good use of this dedicated freight corridor. And next to Gujarat, we have Rajasthan on the one side, and any train which goes to Mumbai from Delhi, it passes through Gujarat and then enters Maharashtra. We also have, ambitious bullet train project coming along the same kind of coordinated alignments. So these are, big ticket projects, which if our country has to progress economically and, become the third largest economy in the world, these infrastructure development projects are working for us and at a faster pace, and which will provide convenience not only to the manufacturers, but also in transportation of these finished products and goods and petrochemicals and fertilizers and chemicals to various other parts of the country. So that is one of the basic requirements of such freight corridor. The traffic density on a single railway track will be reduced because you will have two different corridors,
Right.
two different tracks for goods trains as well as passenger trains.
Yes, so consumers
that is
also
That
benefit.
is the basic philosophy.
Consumers will also
having
benefit.
a dedicated freight corridor. Yeah.
Right, indeed. Rail lines are the lifeline, and we already have a very good port, the Kandla port, which is huge port, and it's of great advantage for interstate and intercontinental transportation. Let's move on to water, very essential aspect of our lives. He's worked on 2 schemes for providing drinking water, Banaskantha and the Dharoi Dam-based Palanpur Lifeline project that was also launched. How do you view that? And apart from not just drinking water, but he also laid the foundation stone of irrigation project in Santrampur Taluka of Mahisagar district. How do you view that? And who are the people who will be benefited? And in fact, to add more to this, there's also a sewage treatment plant which was taken care of in Palanpur, Sidhpur, Bayad and Vadnagar in North Gujarat. How do you take an overview of the entire water situation, drinking, irrigation, sewage treatment? It's quite a composite thing.
They all go together hand in hand if you want to have a wholesome and holistic development for ease of living for your people in the state. So I think these irrigation facilities will in Mahisagar with an widening of Naroda, Degram, Harsol sector, also in barrage on Sabarmati River in Mehsana, and then 2 schemes, as you mentioned, for drinking water in Palanpur and Banaskantha and Dharoi Dam. These not only increase the availability of drinking water for the people there, but these can be easily termed as the lifeline projects for that region. This government, ever since Prime Minister Modi took over in 2014, Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, the mission of Clean India, as you know, has been the top priority.
Yes.
And practically we have done away with open defecation in the country. So this sewerage treatment plant, untreated sewage, still a large percentage of untreated sewage flows into our rivers, finds its way into our rivers. That is also a very crucial concern for the town planners and for the state government also. So the sewerage treatment plant in Patan, Banaskantha and Mehsana, septage management in Gandhinagar will also go a long way in making life easier and safer and for the people living there. So not only in these districts, but I think the downstream also, it will improve the quality and availability of drinking water. So these civic facilities are very much essential for development to take place. You can't have in silos, you will develop only infrastructure and look at these projects where large number of population and particularly north and central Gujarat, which is said to be home to sandy soil, as Prime Minister said, unfavorable climatic conditions and sandy soils are the 2 major hurdles for agricultural workers and farmers there. But even then, Gujarat has been able to overcome these challenges. So I think this is a very well thought out project which will be of great use and great purpose to the people living in these districts and downstream also.
Yes, for anyone who has stayed in Gujarat, Ahmedabad at least, he transformed the Kankadiya Lake there, which is such a beautiful place now. When the Prime Minister was the Chief Minister of Gujarat, he also brought about the change in the riverfront. That riverfront in Ahmedabad could be just any place in the world. Once you're there, it's so beautiful. And similarly, the Sardar Sarovar Dam project.
Also a project for recharge of the various village lakes of Bijapur Taluka and Mansar Taluka of Mehsana and Gandhinagar districts.
Right.
We know that ease of doing business is Gujarat ranks quite higher in that, but now the ease of living is the next step which the government is harping upon, and that's a very positive sign.
Absolutely. Well, all these projects which the Prime Minister either inaugurated or laid the foundation stone for indeed will augur very well for the people of Gujarat, as you said, particularly north and central Gujarat. So thank you very much, Vinay, for giving us an overview about these projects for which the Prime Minister made his visit to Gujarat. Tomorrow is the National Unity Day and he shall be spending time at Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel's statue, which is the Statue of Unity as we call it. We look forward to more such occasions. Thank you very much, Vinay, for talking to us.
Thank you.
You were listening to a discussion on Prime Minister's visit to Gujarat and inauguration of various development projects. The participants were Vinay Kumar, political analyst, and Lalima Aneja Dang, anchor. This program was produced and presented by the News Services Division of Akashvani. You can listen to it on our mobile app, News on AIR. This program is also available on our YouTube channel, News on AIR Official. You may share your feedback about this program through email at airnsdtalks@gmail.com or WhatsApp on 928 909 4044.